Please lower your umbrellas because the ceremony is about to begin. Please rise. I think
yes, the snow guard. It goes on forever.
Good morning. Please remain standing as our candidates for graduation, faculty, staff, and administrators from UH West Oahu lead us in Mele Honouliuli, led by Kainoa Nahulu. Mele Honouliuli is an oli highlighting our beloved land from the glorious mountain of Palehua to Kopapa'apuhi, the pond that resides by the sea. The words for this oli can be found in your program, and we encourage you to join in.
Marco. Okay. Pa. Palehua kuahivila. Ke kuahivi no hoi kalani. O kapole kapula. Kapui no hoi kaina. O kapapa puhi kalokola. Kaloko no hoi kai. Oh no uli ulila. Hey aina aloha eva. Aloha mai napuala. Napuaha he o kaina. Aloha mai napuala. Napuaha he o kaina. Aloha.
Thank you. You may be seated. Special guests, members of the graduating class, parents, family, and friends, welcome to the 2019 Fall Commencement Ceremony at the University of Hawaii, West Oahu. My name is Leila Y. Shimokawa, and I'll be your co-MC for today's festivities. May I please welcome to the podium our Chancellor, Mainette Benham.
Velina mai e nā haumana, nā kumu, nā hoaloha, a me nā ohana. E ia kākou ma ka papahana puka kula haʻule lau o ka makahiki e lua kua kaukani umikumaiwa. Welcome, students, faculty, friends, and family to our Fall 2019 University of Hawaii West Oahu graduate ceremony. Mahalo nui to each of you for coming to celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of our graduates. Ho'omaika ia o kou a i mua e pupu kahi I holo mua I nā po ki'i. Congratulations to our graduates. It is now time for you to sail forward.
Thank you, Chancellor Benham. And now, in what is a tradition here at UH West Oahu, it is with great pleasure that I introduce my co-MC, Ihilani Carter. Ihilani is a candidate for graduation in humanities with a concentration in English. The Leeward Community College transfer is a success networking team coordinator on the executive board for the National Honor Society of Leadership and Success program. The mother of three, the first in her family to graduate from college, has a passion for volunteerism and service. Please welcome Ihilani.
Thank you. I'm so honored to be here today. It is my pleasure to introduce the University of Hawaii West Oahu Band and the University Chorus, who will perform the Star Spangled Banner and Hawaii Pono'i. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
So proudly we hailed
please be seated. Thank you to the UH West Oahu Band and its co-directors, Michael Nakasone and Chad Kame, and the University Chorus led by Justin Kaupu.
We're pleased to introduce our distinguished guests. Please rise as your name is called and remain standing. Will the audience please withhold your applause until all are recognized. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Edward Schultz, and his wife, Kamaili. Regent Michael McInerney with his wife, Irene, and son, J.E. Regent Robert Frank Westerman. Dr. David Lasner, President, University of Hawaii System. Dr. Carlos Peñalosa, Chancellor, Leeward Community College.
Dr. Maynard Benham, Chancellor. Dr. Jeffrey Moniz, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Dr. Alan Rosenfeld, Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Dr. Judy Oliveira, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Tom Herspruner, Chair, UH West Oahu Faculty Senate. Dr. Matthew Chapman, Chair, Business Division. Sharla Hanaoka, Director, Academy for Creative Media. Dr. Mary Heller, Chair, Education Division. Dr. Kealani Cook, representing Humanities Division. Dr. Michael Fruto, Chair, Math, Natural, and Health Sciences Division. Dr. Christina Liu, Chair, Public Administration Division. Dr. Louis Herman, Chair, Social Sciences Division. Dr. Nandi Odiambo, Faculty Marshal. And Dr. Lorindo Riley, Faculty Marshal.
Perlina Stone, our student speaker. Ihilani Carter, our student MC. Senator Michelle Kidani. Representative Henry Aquino. Representative Ty Cullen. Representative Sharon Har. Patrice Tana, Senator Maili Shimabukuro. City Councilwoman Kimberly Pine. City Councilman Ron Menor. Chris Lee, Director and Founder, Academy for Creative Media System. Heather Juni, Producer and Collection Specialist, Ulu Ulu Archives.
We are grateful for all that you've done and are honored that you could be a part of today's celebration. Please give them a round of applause.
You may be seated, thank you.
We are fortunate to have with us today from the UH Board of Regents, Regent Michael McInerney and Robert Frank Westerman. UH West Oahu is grateful to the Board of Regents for its continued support of our campus. I would like to invite Regent McInerney to the podium.
It's always dangerous to give me a microphone. President Lassner, Chancellor Beckham, honored guests, faculty, staff, graduate, and friends. As volunteer regents, we have many tasks. For example, we recently had a meeting in which there was 8 hours of public testimony and 3 hours of meeting. Fortunately, we had good chairs. One of the most important and enjoyable tasks as a regent is the opportunity to attend graduations. I am honored to be a part of today's momentous occasion. It is truly a joyful time, and I thank you for inviting me to make comments on behalf of the regents. I congratulate all of you. This is one of the largest classes to graduate from this college ever, this university ever. There are more than 330 members in this graduating class. Each of you has a different story to share. Some have navigated through unconventional routes to be the first in their family to get a college degree, and that is a wonderful thing. Many juggled full schedules, balancing schoolwork and family. Others embraced the college experience, filling up their plates with a slate of extracurricular activities. Many took advantage of UH West Oahu's online offerings to complete their degree requirements. In fact, the valedictorian in spring this year never set foot on this campus until she came to give that speech. So that's a wonderful expansion of the opportunity to get education. Some of you are members in the first class to graduate with a degree in creative media. That's 4 people, and that's outstanding, with this wonderful building that's just off my shoulder there. All will soon share one thing in common. You will all be proud graduates of UH West Oahu. I must take a moment to thank the people that helped you get here. You have put in a lot of hard work. You probably had support from your family, your friends, your fellow graduates, faculty, and the staff here and the volunteers who showed up today. This is a wonderful ohana, and I hope you continue to be a part of it in the future. Remember that this is called a commencement, which means to go forth. And almost every job or career you pursue, please make lifelong learning a part of your training. There are so many ways you do this, ranging from traditional books, which is how I believe to do it, actually books, the things that used to be on hardcovers like that, a personal suggestion, magazines, or to the internet or UH Online. Do I have to start over? A personal suggestion I have would to have you pick 4 news sites. I don't mean 4 movie sites like YouTube or something like that, 4 sites. 2 of them should contain stories that you generally agree with. 2 should contain stories that you generally disagree with. The reason for this is to have a broader perspective on what's going on. We have too little talking back and forth. People are too spread apart, as evidenced by our Congress, for example. So that's a good way to keep track of what's going on. I would also recommend that you occasionally check in the BBC online, because that's a view of America that's outside of America. It creates good time to look at. We will hear later today from one of the original faculty members, Dr. Ned Schultz, as our keynote speaker. I actually can't wait to hear what he has to say about the change that's occurred from the time West Oahu started until today. Soon you will be part of the history of this campus. We honor you as we celebrate your perseverance and commitment to achieving goals. On behalf of the Board of Regents, I extend our congratulations and warm wishes for the future. A special thanks to those of you who had made it possible for you to obtain this degree. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Regent McInerney. And now, I'd like to call upon UH System President David Lasner to give the greetings from the University of Hawaii System.
I love graduations, and I love graduations at UH West Oahu because it reminds me of how a community can create something amazing from nothing. And there are so many people to be thankful for. We'll hear from everyone from Ned Schultz, one of the original faculty members who kept heart from the beginning, believing that one day there would be an actual campus, without singling out all of our representatives who are here, but since their president, both Senator Kidani and Representative Har, who have been at this since I first became president and really pushed in both chambers to make sure we had a real campus here. But I also want to thank all of you in the audience, the faculty without whom this wouldn't be possible, the campus leaders, the divisions, the administration, Chancellor Benham, who's picked up the flame here at UH West Oahu just recently, and especially those of you in the audience who have helped these graduates get here. I know some of you are grandmothers and grandfathers, sisters and brothers, husbands, children, maybe even some grandchildren here today, neighbors and friends, but our amazing graduates wouldn't be here without you as well. So how about if the graduates, just a quick round of applause for all the people, and you can think about who's here who helped you get there. For the graduates, as Regent McInerney said, you know, today you're becoming graduates of UH West Oahu, and that's an amazing, amazing accomplishment for each of you. But you're also graduates of the University of Hawaii broader system. So just a quick show of hands, just two of these. How many of you started at another campus of the University of Hawaii? And how many of you think you might move on to graduate school at another campus of the University of Hawaii? Yay! And this is one of the amazing things about public higher education in this state, that we have 10 campuses across the islands that all work together to advance the people of this state, their families, and their communities. And I couldn't be prouder of what you have all done, and I couldn't be prouder of what you have all done to make this day possible. Aloha.
Thank you, President Lasner. I would now like to invite Chancellor Benham back to the podium to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Ned Schultz.
I am pleased to introduce our keynote speaker this morning, Dr. Edward J. Ned Schultz. He earned his A.B. in political science from Union College, a liberal arts college in Schenectady, New York, and both his M.A. and Ph.D. in East Asian history, focusing on Korea, at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Dr. Ned Schultz began his teaching career as an instructor at Leeward Community College. And in January of 1976, he, along with Dan Boylan, Ward Marfin, and Fern Weiner, became the founding 4 faculty of the University of Hawaii's West Oahu College. That spring semester, they taught courses at Campbell High School with 75 students. In August of 1976, they were joined by Ross Prizia, Linda Nishigawa, Barbara Newton, and Roland Stiller, and moved to Newtown Square in Aiea with an expanded enrollment of 140 students. And as we all know, 43 years later, here we are. A campus of over 3,100 students and 102 faculty and staff brilliantly serving West Oahu and all our UH community colleges. This is indeed a tribute to Ned and our founding faculty. Mahalo. In 1998, Ned transferred to the University of Hawaii at Manoa to become the director of the Center of Korean Studies, and later became interim dean of the School of Hawaiian, Asian, and Pacific Studies, as well as assistant vice chancellor for international programs and exchange. After retiring in 2013, he taught in Korea for a year, and on returning to Hawaii was interim chancellor of our neighboring college, Hawaii Tokai International College. So preparing for this introduction, I had an opportunity to talk with many of his colleagues and family members to better understand the person behind the degrees and the resume. His colleagues hailed his professional career that has been centered on international engagement. They hailed his graceful ability to share stories about the history of people from faraway places that lights up your imagination and makes you want to learn more. His fluency in the Korean language and his canny ability to pick up many different languages. And of course, his lifelong membership to the Boston Red Sox Nation. But the predominant quality of Neg's character, shared by all, is his love for his ohana, his wife Kamaile, who is his rock and best travel partner, his sons and grandchildren, and his love for Hawaii. His sons, Keone and Kanekoa, shared that their father is very intentional, quote, principled and politely stubborn, about the importance of caring for the Aina and the people, and linking that wisdom to a global awareness of health and well-being. His daughter-in-law, Pohai, says that his Aloha Aina and Aloha Ohana maintains the balance of the universe. But the best description is from his grandson, Kahikina, who says of his Farfar, he's my favorite hiking partner because he's the only one who can keep up with me. And Ned, we've been trying to keep up with you all this time. I am honored to welcome to the podium a founding faculty member of the University of Hawaii West Oahu and Kahikina's grandpa, Dr. Edward J. Ned Schultz.
Aloha, aloha kako. It's an honor to address the University of Hawaii West Oahu class of 2019. Congratulations to you, the graduates, but also, as Dr. Lassner pointed out, to your family, parents, siblings, spouses, children, friends. You are the ones who supported our fine grads, and we thank you. In my lifetime, I have attended countless graduations. One spring, I witnessed 5 commencement ceremonies, rivaling Dr. Lassner. There is one thing I learned from all these experiences: keep the address short. You graduates, your family, and your friends have far more pressing things to do than listen to some vintage former UH West Oahu faculty member drone on. Yeah, I do that. But I am your commencement speaker, so I must drone on for a little bit. Today, December 14th, is a dream come true for you, the graduates, and your families. It's also a dream for which your faculty and advisors share. And this thriving campus is a dream that the earliest faculty and staff carried for many years. I know that because back in the spring of 1976, Dan Borland and I were 2 of West Oahu's first 4 professors, as you just heard. We often chuckle over West Oahu's first graduation. There were 7 graduates, and the chancellor's wife played Pomp and Circumstance on a borrowed piano. Chancellor Benham, do you think your spouse would be willing to play the piano for us? That first graduation in 1977 seems like light years away. Shortly, you'll be walking away from this beautiful, still growing campus with a college degree. What does it mean? Why did you spend so many hours of study working towards this goal? For some, graduation means better pay. For others, it will offer an enhanced job opportunities. For others, your degree opens a path to still further education. Maybe an MA, maybe an MBA, a law degree, a PhD. Look at your requirements for graduation. You get a sense of why a college degree is important. And for those of you who have forgotten the requirements, go to your webpage, go to your catalog, it has it all. UH West Oahu expects graduates to be able to write well, to reason, to think. Today we are confronted with multiple opinions and questions, forcing us to decide what to believe. Fake news and internet blogs challenge fact and undercut sound argument. Your faculty have played a key role here in challenging you to question your assumptions. I once took a course on documents, my professor asked, what's the first question you need to consider when looking at a document? And the correct answer was, is the document authentic? This professor taught me to scrutinize what is presented and to question my beliefs. This is the essence of UH West Oahu's reasoning requirement. UH West Oahu also wants students to know something that's happened in the world prior to last week. A basic grounding in history, literature, or societies of the past gives students a foundation to understand life today. I also note students are required to take a Hawaiian, Asian, and Pacific Studies course. Hawaii is unique, and a course on the people or history of our part of the world makes life in Hawaii so much more meaningful. And right now, we're getting a little blessing, so that means I'm almost done. These requirements help requirements help you obtain a better understanding of who we are and how we fit into this complex world. Required courses in the humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences provide you with a taste of various disciplines, helping you discover a special interest and become a better rounded person. Finally, you must commit to a major, and because you have met all these requirements, you are here today. You should feel empowered with your bachelor degree. But let me return briefly to your Hawaiian, Asian, and Pacific requirement. As a former dean of the School of Hawaiian, Asian, and Pacific Studies at UH Manoa, I take special interest in this requirement. There have been times when Hawaii was indeed center stage of the world, especially on that day of infamy, December 1941, 78 years and 7 days ago, when Pearl Harbor was bombed. That tragedy reminds us how far away events impact Hawaii. Pearl Harbor launched the horror that was World War II. Thousands of civilians and sailors perished a few miles from here. Often forgotten, the Honolulu internment camp is also just a few miles from here as well. There, Japanese Americans, Austrians, and Germans suspected of espionage were sent to wait out the war. Koreans who were forced to fight on behalf of Japan during World War II were also interned there. Among the Honolulu internees was Austrian Alfred Price, who lived on in Hawaii to become a leading architect and the designer of the Arizona Memorial, a monument that for over the last 60 years has reminded tens of millions of visitors to Hawaii of the futility of war. But in 2019, our world is different. One of our closest allies in the Pacific is Japan, and right next door to West Oahu is a sister campus, Hawaii Tokai International College, part of the Tokai educational system in Tokyo. And Honolulu is set to become a national monument. This entire area where you have studied embodies the valor of America's defenders, the shame of American hysteria, and the promise of a better future. Rarely do we think of UH West Oahu being located in such historically hallowed and sacred grounds. Don't forget, you are the inheritors of this history. You will be asked to sift through competing arguments. At this moment, Hawaii faces major challenges, whether it is on Mauna Kea or in Waimanalo or Kahuku, whether it is sea level rise or global warming, homelessness, or the spiraling cost of living. Unchecked development, environmental issues, and the economy are not unique to 2019. Hawaii confronted similar concerns in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Which brings me to the year 1976, when West Oahu was founded, or West Oahu College, as it was known, was founded. There was a hue and cry against building this school in the middle of cane fields. Opponents saw West Oahu as a vehicle by which developers would get rich. Even faculty colleagues and other UH campuses were critical. They claimed there was no need for a campus in the countryside. I had a friend who once said she would never come this way for a class, and I responded, "But you expect people out here to drive into Manoa for class?" Consider West Oahu's legacy. How many who might not have had an education can carry a West Oahu diploma with pride? Consider how the communities in Central and Leeward districts have been enriched by the presence of the campus. At this point in a commencement address, it's customary to provide endless quotations from old white men. I am an old white man, so some say, but I will give you only three quotations to ponder and be done. In line with tradition, the first quotation comes indeed from an old white man, the 19th century transcendental philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson, who stated, "Don't be timid or squeamish about your actions. All life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better." All life is an experiment. The more experiments you make, the better. So education, and especially the one from West Oahu, should empower you to understand and foresee. It should empower you to act with respect and resolution. It should encourage you to experiment. The second quote is from perhaps the greatest American of the last century, not an old white man, but Martin Luther King. He argued, education must allow one to sift and weigh evidence, to discern the true from the false, the real from the unreal, and the facts from the fiction. Given your experiences and knowledge, you can look at issues and, based on thoughtful analysis, make decisions. Education is empowerment. The final quote comes from an old Chinese guy, Confucius, who I both studied and translated. And for those of you about to venture off into new areas in a job, Confucius' words are especially important, for he said, "Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life." To repeat, choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Schultz. Now, our Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Jeffrey Moniz, will recognize the candidates for graduation with distinction and honor.
The university is proud of those students who are graduating with distinction. Based on a 4-point scale, these candidates have earned a minimum grade point average of 3.75 and have completed at least 30 credits at UH West Oahu. You will find the names of these outstanding students marked with an asterisk in your program. Will all those graduating with distinction and wearing a red cord rise or raise your hand? Please remain standing or keep your hand raised until I'm done, if you're able. In addition, the graduating class includes several members who were selected for national honor societies, such as Alpha Phi Sigma, Alpha Delta Kappa, Golden Key International Honor Society, Kappa Delta Pi, the National Society of Leadership and Success, Lambda Alpha, Psi Chi, and Sigma Tau Delta. To symbolize this achievement, these students are adorned with cords of various colors, pins, or medallions. Will those students please rise or raise your hand? You too, please remain standing or keep your hand raised until I'm done, if you're able. We now would like to recognize the student marshals. These students' academic achievements have resulted in their selection to assist their fellow candidates during the commencement ceremony. Will the student marshals, wearing a red and white cord symbolizing their service to UH West Oahu, please rise or raise your hand? Please stay up or keep them up. We'd like to call upon those students who augmented their studies by participating in service learning. Those with the service learning red stole, please rise or raise your hand. Please remain up, we're almost done. We would like to recognize those students who served in various capacities on our chartered student organizations, including the Associated Students of UH West Oahu, the Campus Center Board, Student Media Board, and Student Activity Board. Thank you for fostering our thriving student life. Please rise or raise your hand. Keep them up, keep them up. Please remain up. Last but certainly not least, we would like to recognize our student veterans and current service members and thank them for their service. The UH West Oahu Alumni Ohana provided the red, white, and blue cords as a way to thank them for their service. For our veterans and service members, including those in the audience, please rise and raise your hand. Audience, please join me in one more round of applause for all of these distinguished individuals and their accomplishments. Thank you, all of you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Moniz. Now, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Judy Oliveira, will introduce our student speaker.
I would now like to introduce our student speaker, Perlina Stone. Lena, as many of us know her, is a beloved member of our campus, Ohana. She recently received the Student Service and Leadership Distinction Award, and as a ASUH West Oahu Caucus Ambassador, a Pueo Leadership Project team member, a member of Psi Chi and the Student Activity Board, her leadership skills were so evident that Chancellor Benham hired her as a program assistant directly in her office. Lena is graduating today with a degree in social science with a concentration in psychology, and she was recently accepted to the UH Manoa's College of Education Educational Administration Program. Please welcome Perlina.
Good morning, family, friends, faculty, staff, President Lasner, distinguished guests, and Chancellor Benham. I am Perlina Serrano Stone, and I have the honor of being your fall 2019 commencement student speaker. First of all, yes. First of all, I want to thank the change makers in my life, those who have dedicated their time, energy, and wisdom to helping me celebrate this milestone. I want to send a warm aloha to academic advisor Manoi Lowry for connecting me to this beautiful campus. Student Life Director Roel Velasco, or better known as Roro, for our love of peanut butter and his mentorship. And College Success Advisor Katrina Abes for being the wonderful role model. You are my change makers. Now let's be real. 28 years ago, in 1991, when pagers, hairsprayed with Aquanet, and the song The Electric Slide made it to the top 100, I graduated from Waianae High School. Go Sea Riders! Woo! I had big dreams. I was going to attend college on the mainland and earn millions. I was quickly humbled when I found out that I nor my parents could afford it. My world shattered, leaving me bitter and unmotivated. After 2 failed semesters at Leeward Community College, I dropped out, got married, and had children. Over the years, my vision of college faded, especially when my husband left on 2 separate deployments and I became the sole parent to my 3 sons. On his second tour, I became depressed and I saw a counselor who introduced me to health and fitness. I became a Zumba certified instructor and found complete joy in helping and mentoring others to transform their lives. It was through that leadership that I decided to re-enroll back to college, starting off at Leeward Community College. Today, one of my dreams has been accomplished. With the help of my change makers, what I once gave up, I am now about to embark on a new journey. I will be starting my master's degree program in educational administration at the University of Hawaii at Manoa this spring. To my fellow graduates, pat yourself on the back, give yourselves a big choo! We earned it, gang. But remember, just as we have gotten to this point with a lot of perseverance, sleepless nights, tons of tears and coffee, we also celebrate the work of so many change makers who have shared their vision, advice, and their time to make today a reality. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate and become change makers. Transform the lives of others as you transform and improve your own life. Perhaps show a little more aloha. Be less judgmental. Share a smile with another. Help someone attain a college degree. Push through those tough times and simply see things through another perspective. Use your newfound degree to fuel your passion and to be a change maker, and go for it. This day is a special day for both my husband and me, and not because I am earning this bachelor's. Sorry, I am an ugly crier, so let me collect myself. Today we look out to our sons, Tyler. My son Adam could not be here. He's flying today, coming home from college, and my son Dylan. And I see how we have been change makers in their lives, and we are so grateful. To the parents of these beautiful change makers, I share this moment with you as well. In your eyes, I see the hope for a better future as you share this proud moment with your graduates. Salamat po. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Pralina. Now, UH West Oahu Faculty Senate Chair Tom Hurst-Brunner will give the final salutation to the graduates on behalf of the faculty.
Thank you, Ihalani. Aloha, good morning, and welcome to all our guests, families, and friends of the graduates, and the distinguished guests from our community. It's my honor to be here to say congratulations to our graduates on behalf of the world-class faculty of UH West Oahu. Thank you for bringing life and inspiration to our campus. Today is your day of celebration, and congratulations. Enjoy it while you can, because Monday is coming. The easy part is over. Now you get the education in your profession. You will face challenges for which there is no known answer. You will be expected to provide results. Improvise when you have to, but don't back down from a challenge. You are ready for it. The author James Lane Allen said, "Adversity does not build character, it reveals it." I'll give you an example of what I think this means. As a relatively new attorney, I got a phone call one day from a young man who wanted to know if I could help him get a federal conviction off his record. When he was 19, he made a huge mistake. He did his time. He did everything the justice system asked of him. He graduated college, worked a great job, and raised a family. But now he could not pass a background check to coach his son's youth football team. When I asked him why he called me, of all the attorneys in the book, it wasn't because I was particularly well known or accomplished in this area of law. Instead, it was because his wife worked with a friend of mine, and she told him to give me a call. I'll pause here to give you piece of advice number one. Now that you have a degree, you will be known in your family as the expert on many subjects, including those that are not related to your field of study. So just do your best. But getting back to my story, since my client's conviction was a federal conviction, the only relief he could obtain was to receive a pardon from the President of the United States. Sounds simple, right? So even though I'd never done anything like this, I took the case and asked some of my more experienced attorney friends on advice how to proceed. So I'll pause here to give you piece of advice number two, and that is consult with people who've been there and done that. They can often give you insight that can only be gained by experience. In this case, the answer I got was forget it. Pardons are rarely ever granted, and they take forever. Which leads me to piece of advice number 2A. The advice you get isn't always sound. Feel free to ignore it and plow forward. Use your vision and judgment. Nobody expects you to be perfect. Perfection is the enemy of progress, as Winston Churchill said. Getting back to my story. I wrote the pardon application from scratch and sent it to Washington, D.C. for the president's consideration. 3 years later, my client called me, frustrated at the amount of time it was taking to complete. Which leads me to piece of advice number 3. Be patient. Some things cannot be rushed. Seize your opportunities when they present themselves. Choose wisely and carefully. Act decisively. In the end, it took 5 years to get a final decision on the pardon application. But my client's character had already been revealed. His adult life had started in adversity as a convicted felon, but he became a good father and a husband, a great contributor to his community. He didn't need a piece of paper signed by the President of the United States to validate who he now was. But I can tell you from experience, there's nothing quite like opening a letter signed by the President of the United States, informing you that your client's pardon application has been granted. Which brings me to piece of advice number 4. The payoff will be worth it. Sharing your success with your family, friends, and community is the most rewarding part of success. But you have to believe in yourself to get there. Pardon me. So I'll leave you with the words of author Dorothea Brand. Act as if it were impossible to fail. That is the talisman, the formula, the command, the right about face which turns us from failure towards success. I wish you nothing but success. Aloha.
Thank you, Chair Hirschbrunner. We will now proceed with the awarding of academic degrees and certificates. I would like to call Drs. Loea Akiona and Jan Javanar from Student Affairs to the podium to present the candidates for degrees and certificates. Will Regent McInerney, Regent Westerman, President Lasner, Chancellor Benham, and Vice Chancellor Moniz please come to the stage.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration and the Bachelor of Applied Sciences degrees please rise and come forward? And will Business Division Chair Dr. Matt Chapman please join the reception line?
How are you? I like you.
Oh, good. Right on. Maydeen Bartholomew Tangaro, concentration in information security and assurance. Michael Kwan, concentration in marketing. Sophia Patello, concentration in general business administration. Hector Jacobo, concentration in finance. Anson Lamb, concentration in marketing. Connor Kaneshiro, concentration in marketing. Diaris Lachlan, concentration in marketing and concentration in sociology. John Staley, concentration in marketing. Oh, I like your tattoo. Kristen Barber with distinction, concentration in accounting. Sierra Ponimoy, concentration in management. Leah Von Hoff, concentration in marketing. Clarissa Gomez, concentration in management. Marjorie Espiritu, concentration in hospitality and tourism. Michelle Conway, with distinction, concentration in accounting. Taimane Revolorio, with distinction, concentration in accounting. Sarah Owen, concentration in accounting. Gabrielle Pasqua, concentration in accounting. Luella Jane Agpawa, with distinction, concentration in accounting. Janelle Coloma, concentration in accounting. Vance Nagata, concentration in accounting. Dylan Eben De La Rama, concentration in finance. Luchelle Mahoy, concentration in management. Taryn Hisamoto, concentration in general business administration. Sheila Marie Ghani, concentration in general business administration. Kobe De Silva, with distinction, concentration in general business administration. Yuya Kobuchi, concentration in hospitality and tourism. Wen, concentration in hospitality and tourism. Keaka Canute, with distinction, concentration in general business administration. Sierra Hernandez, with distinction, concentration in marketing. Derek Brown, concentration in information security and assurance. Tommy Sayasa, with distinction, concentration in marketing. Trevor Gu, concentration in marketing. David Frattini, with distinction, concentration in information security and assurance, and a certificate in risk management and insurance. Kristen Sakamoto, with distinction, concentration in accounting. Christina Ann Javier, with distinction, concentration in general business administration. Donna Leilani Manuel, concentration in marketing. Roseanne Rabago, concentration in management. Cassie Morris, concentration in marketing. Chrislane Lorraine Yanuaria, with distinction, concentrations in accounting and finance, and a certificate in risk management and insurance. William Loth Jr., with distinction, concentration in management. Christy Hara, concentration in marketing. Alice Tiomalu, concentration in accounting. Lindsay Brovard, with distinction, concentration in management. Cesar Espino, with distinction, concentration in marketing. Corianne Ramos, concentration in general business administration. Robert Foster, with distinction, concentration in management. Gabriel Ramirez, concentration in marketing. Devin Sheff, concentration in marketing. Rice Worley, concentration in marketing. Melissa Myers, with distinction, concentration in management. Ricky Alo Pineda, concentration in finance. Kupono Chang, concentration in management. Jonathan Perry, concentration in management. Lauren Alexis Rivera, concentration in hospitality and tourism. Ivan Ciro Angelo Santos, concentration in General Business Administration. Lovely Ann Pasqua, concentration in Management. Kelsey Bruce, with distinction, concentration in Accounting. Maria Garacas, with distinction, concentration in General Business Administration. Sheila Marie Elar, concentration in Accounting. Xiaohu Ye, with distinction, concentration in Hospitality and Tourism. Shanale Bolosan, concentration in Hospitality and Tourism. Symphony Broden, with distinction, concentration in Hospitality and Tourism. Isaac Silva, concentration in Management. Daisy Chuck Smith, with distinction, concentration in Accounting. Rhea Lynn Valenciano, concentration in Accounting. Melissa Wright, concentration in Accounting. Yesenia Rodriguez Esquivel, with distinction, concentration in Marketing. Francisco Cabarloc, concentration in Information Security and Assurance. Geraldine Bareng, concentration in Marketing. Danilee Christine Carino, with distinction, concentration in Marketing. Alexis Tom, concentration in Marketing. Leilani Robertson, concentration in Marketing. Tessa Gersaba, concentration in Accounting. Dylan Orion, concentration in Marketing. Christine Rush, concentration in Marketing. Ranson Avery Lott, concentration in Finance. Nalani Mataya, concentration in Management. Alina Flawao, concentration in Marketing. Joanna Marie Iglesias, concentration in General Business Administration. Tara Nobriga, with distinction, concentration in Marketing. Kristen Lopez, concentration in Marketing. Irish Joy Agassid, concentration in Accounting. Teo Sharice Shaira Viernes, concentration in Accounting. Kelsey Kanashiro, concentration in Finance. Patrick Gallardo, concentration in General Business Administration. Jonathan Ray Makadangdang, with distinction, concentration in Marketing. Victoria Terrazas, concentration in General Business Administration. Abby Joanna Iglesia, concentration in Accounting. Kira Pescador, with distinction, concentration in Accounting. John Vince Abejuela, with distinction, concentration in Marketing. Elijah Peralta, concentration in Management. Kyle Nadres, concentrations in Management and Marketing. Jonathan Kim, concentration in Finance. Anna Marie Sanchez, concentration in Management. Marielle Kudal, with distinction, concentration in Management. Ailey Bedo, concentration in Information Security and Assurance. Austin Fox, concentration in Information Security and Assurance. Christina Kealoha, concentration in Information Security and Assurance. Weston Weaver, concentration in Information Security and Assurance. Jeremy Reyes, concentration in Computing, Electronics, and Networking Technology. Keli'i Harbert, concentration in Information Security and Assurance. He loves you too. Joshua Kuhn, concentration in Information Security and Assurance. Trina Kaneakalau, with distinction, concentration in Respiratory Care. Myron Balason, with distinction, Computing, Electronics, and Networking Technology.
Love the nails.
Jacob Kimso, with distinction, concentration in Computing, Electronics, and Networking Technology. Mercy Abel, concentration in Management. Shaherazad Keli'i, concentration in Marketing. Claudia May Abis, concentration in Marketing. Maria Brumos, concentration in Accounting. Tyler Bush, with distinction, Information Security and Assurance. He loves you too. Elena Yoshida, concentration in Information Security and Assurance. Ho'aliku Okano, concentration in information security and assurance. Nel Tabihe, concentration in information security and assurance. Onkar Nerukar, concentration in information security and assurance. Lyndon Borgonia, concentration in information security and assurance. Colin Nishimura, concentration in information security and assurance. Cesar Capistrano, with distinction, concentration in information security and assurance. Mishkat Rahman, concentration in information technology. Marcello Chua, concentration in information security and assurance. Philippe Manuel, concentration in information security and assurance. Jonathan Santos, concentration in information security and assurance. David Pajarillo, concentration in information security and assurance. Tiana Lynn Hosford, concentration in information security and assurance. Melissa Tabonda, concentration in information security and assurance. Kenneth Cancio, concentration in information security and assurance with distinction. Congratulations, business and applied sciences candidates. You may be seated.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Creative Media degree please rise and come forward? And may I ask UH West Oahu Academy for Creative Media Director Sharla Hanaoka to join the reception line. May we also please recognize Senator Michelle Kidani and Representative Ty Cullen, UH President David Lasner, Academy for Creative Media System Director and Founder Chris Lee, and Candy Suiso, the Program Director for Waianae High School Sea Rider Productions, for their unwavering support in the creation of this degree. The members of this class are the first to receive the Bachelor of Arts in Creative Media. Matthew Forney, with distinction, Creative Media. Evan Tamashiro, Creative Media. Landon Ogomori, General Creative Media. Trayson Reese, General Creative Media. Nicole Ursura, Creative Media. Karina Nagaishi, General Creative Media. David Stone, General Creative Media. Royce Omoto, Humanities, Creative Media. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Education degree please rise and come forward? And may I ask Education Division Chair, Dr. Mary Heller, to join the reception line. Tenio Kwan, with distinction, elementary education. Nicole Andres, with distinction, elementary education. Lauren Temte, elementary education. Mary Lois Yande, elementary education. Rondell Barawidan, elementary education. Larice Visitation, with distinction, elementary education. Randy Page, elementary education. Sarah Lindy Balai, secondary education, mathematics. Courtney Gibo, elementary education. Congratulations, education candidates and creative media candidates. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts degree in Humanities please rise and come forward? And will Dr. Kealani Cook, representing the Humanities Division, please join the reception line? Ihilani Carter, with distinction, English. Mariah Newman, with distinction, English. Alyssa Yoshioka, with distinction, English. Jacqueline Preciado, Certificate in Gender Studies, Major History. Alyssa Phillips, History. Tatiana Estelle, English. Stephanie Brooks, English. Chance Duarte, Philosophy. Henry Wolfram, History, Certificate in Asian Studies. Jamie Sanidad, English. Cade Hema Yamlam, Hawaiian Pacific Studies. Congratulations, humanities candidates. Please be seated.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Public Administration please rise and come forward? And will Division Chair for Public Admin, Dr. Christina Liu, please join the reception line. Ashley Sherman with distinction, concentrations in disaster preparedness and emergency management and justice administration. David Eichenhurst, certificate in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Dana Akagi, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Robert Faumuina, concentration in general public administration. Tamaenga Otolemamea, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Raymond Kaho'one, concentration and certificate in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Brandy Lynn Nakano, concentration in healthcare administration. Raynalyn Swan, concentration in healthcare administration. Carolyn Lapointe, concentration in healthcare administration. Bryson Amaral, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Christina Kealoha, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Destiny Kenga, with distinction, concentration in healthcare administration. Ryan Uko, concentration in healthcare administration. Janeth Gomez, concentration in healthcare administration. Susan Shockey, concentration in healthcare administration. Victoria Trotter, with distinction, concentration in justice administration. Shanlin Hammond, concentration in justice administration. Ripley Paulino, with distinction, concentration in justice administration. Gwendolyn Martin, concentration in justice administration. Eileen Kim, concentration in healthcare administration. Tyler Del Rosario, concentration in healthcare administration. Jordan Calderon, concentration in community health. Douglas Untalan, concentration in justice administration. Chloe Page Sevadal, concentration in justice administration. Caitlin Heisman, concentration in justice administration. Alyssa Hernandez, with distinction, concentrations in healthcare administration and justice administration. Lenice Hogue, concentration in healthcare administration. Joven Sabado, concentration in healthcare administration. Jacob Choi, concentration in justice administration. Daniel Bomanglag, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Chris Salmer Karaang Jr., concentration in general public administration. Eileen Carriazo, certificate in healthcare administration. Tiffany Amber Augustin, concentration in healthcare administration. Hilary Dela Cruz, concentration in healthcare administration. Irvin Cyrus Angelo Santos, concentration in healthcare administration. Marvelyn Agno, with distinction, concentrations in healthcare administration and justice administration, and a certificate in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Jordan Carter, concentration in justice administration. Jessica Atwood, concentration in justice administration. Jean Tanaka, with distinction, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Puanani Akaka, certificate in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Shanti Suyetsugu, certificate in healthcare administration. Genesis Toralba, concentration in justice administration. Alyssa Joyce Rezada, concentration in healthcare administration. Jeanette Espinal, concentration in healthcare administration. Jaislyn Aleka, concentration in justice administration and certificate in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Rishana Paktol, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Ram Arnan Braza, concentration in disaster preparedness and emergency management. Congratulations, public administration candidates. You may be seated.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences please rise and come forward? And will the division chair for Social Sciences, Dr. Louis Herman, please join the reception line? Perlina Stone, Concentration, Psychology. Michelle Paquin, with distinction, Concentration, Psychology, Certificate in Substance Abuse and Addiction Studies. Natasha Hansen, Concentration, Psychology. Corey Arakaki, Concentration, Psychology. Melody Enos, Concentration, Psychology. Robin De Los Reyes, with distinction, Concentration, Psychology. Christiane Gosset, Concentrations, Psychology and Anthropology. Andrea Hall, Concentration, Anthropology, Certificate in Applied Forensic Anthropology. Jason Hill, Concentration, Anthropology. Fitsame Sinvangsa, Concentration, Anthropology. Justin Hill, with distinction, Concentration, Political Science. Daisy Jane Panganiban, Concentration, Psychology. Demi Rust Sipili, Concentration, Psychology. Jade Simpliciano, Concentration, Psychology. Shadell Parks, Concentration, Psychology. Alexandria Tierra, Concentration, Psychology. Talia Carvalho, Concentration, Psychology. Allison Rawsai, Concentration, Psychology, Certificate in Asian Studies. Leah Jean Echevarria, Concentration, Psychology. Janelle Cambia, Concentration, Psychology. Joel Esme Ugalino, Concentration, Psychology. Jessa Ray Pasqua, Concentration, Psychology. Eugene Maluyo, Concentration, Psychology. Scott Yoshimura, with distinction, Concentration, Psychology. Courtney Pereira, Concentration, Early Childhood Education. Kirsten Malia Chang, Concentration, Psychology. Angelica Blancaflor, with distinction, Concentration, Psychology. Congratulations. Shayna Olarty, with distinction, Concentration, Psychology. Jarliza Moreco, concentration psychology. Joanne Payongayong, concentration psychology. Dane Nishimura, concentration psychology. Georgie Eileen Delgado, concentration psychology. Margie Sokolov, concentration psychology and sociology. Anna Fujiwara, concentration sociology. Derek Justice Safri, with distinction, concentrations, sociology, psychology. Blaze Cosner, concentration, psychology. Anne Kalahiki, concentration, psychology and sociology. Paulina Rauda Lopez, concentration, psychology. Malo Senga, concentrations, political science and psychology. Congratulations, social sciences candidates. You may be seated, and our administrators may return to their seats. However, may I ask Chancellor Benham and Vice Chancellor Moniz back to the podium? Will our faculty marshals, Drs. Nandi Oriambo and Lorinda Riley, please take your position at front center stage?
Page 11, yeah.
The Faculty Commencement Marshal is a duty of honor and distinction. Our faculty marshals were selected because of their significant achievements. Dr. Oriambo was the recipient of the 2019 Elliott Cades Award for Literature, and Dr. Riley recently received a Department of Justice grant for her project using restorative approaches to strengthen tribal justice systems. Congratulations to both our faculty marshals, and mahalo for your contributions to our students.
Will all the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration, Bachelor of Applied Science, Bachelor of Arts in Creative Media, Bachelor of Education, Bachelor of Arts in Humanities, Bachelor of Arts in Public Administration, and the Bachelor of Arts in Social Sciences, as well as the students who are candidates for certificates, please rise. Chancellor Benham, it gives me great pleasure to present to you these candidates. They have completed their prescribed courses of study and are recommended by the faculty for the award of the appropriate degrees and certificates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Regents and the State of Hawaii, I hereby confer upon you the degrees and certificates to which you are entitled. This is a very important symbolic rite of passage from student to graduate. Keep your eyes on the faculty marshals who will guide you through the symbolic transition from candidates for a degree or certificate to holder of a degree or certificate. With your marshals as your guide, you will now move the tassel on your motorboards from right to left. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you UH West Oahu's Fall 2019 class. Congratulations, University of Hawaii West Oahu graduates.
Thank you, Chancellor Benham. I would like to give special recognition to my co-MC, Ihilani Carter. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our commencement to a close. Will the audience please remain at your seats until the platform party, faculty, and students have exited. You may greet your graduates at the grass field to my right after they exit. To view today's commencement ceremonies online, please visit our website at westoahu.hawaii.edu. Thank you again for coming, and congratulations to our graduates.